Hey, welcome back to the Best Women's Show. Why am I screwing up on our own title? The Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I am Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf, and you're not wrong by saying what you said. So, hey, you're not wrong.
I keep screwing up, but it's all right. It's been a crazy day so far, but, we're just getting right to it. Ooh, David Benavidez. We're gonna
bring them out,
bring them out, because we're putting you in the hot seat. We got lots of questions to ask you. Where's my camera? Where's my camera? David Benavidez, former two-time super middleweight champion. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our new show.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Thank you. So I don't know. We're getting right to it, Jay. We're getting right to it.
Right into the
I know that you saw, I'm really hoping that you saw that Caleb Plant was on our show not too long ago, like a week ago. And he said some things that you allegedly said. And I don't know, have you heard about it? Did you watch the interview? Did you watch any of the things that were said? Or did your dad tell you?
Yeah, I've seen the clips.
And okay, and this is a platform we want to give you that Caleb Plant said allegedly that you were speaking bad about his late daughter. And you guys were saying maybe there's videos out and you're just saying things.
Yeah, I never said nothing about his daughter. You could look everywhere. If he said that there's clips of me saying stuff about his daughter, I never said anything about his daughter. I feel like, his daughter is, whatever happened with his daughter being deceased, I don't think it's anybody's place, especially mine, to talk about a late daughter like that. So, if I said something about his daughter, and you can bring up the clips, but I never said nothing about his daughter.
We got to the root with it. When he was in here, we asked him, you guys share management. You guys have people in common that you work with to make fights happen. What is the root of the animus? He says the root is that with the daughter. For you on your side, why don't you like him? What's the root of it for you?
I just don't like him. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a fighter. I don't think that he thinks that. I don't like how he thinks that he's the best super middleweight in the world. He's not. It's just that's just basically it. I don't like him, and he doesn't like me.
He had a lot of things to say in addition to him alleging that you said things about his daughter. He also alleges there was an incident where people walked up to him in the gym and tried to intimidate him, and he was either by himself. And we just want your side.
Caleb Plant, he's just like he's a person that thinks he's the shit. He has a loud mouth. He does all this shit with clout. And he's just a bitch. That's what he is. Bottom line, he's just a bitch. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. I want to fight him, and he wants to fight me. That's it. But he doesn't want to make these fights happen. We could have made this fight happen now. He could come on here and he could cry. He could say all the things he wants to say. But, he talks a lot of shit himself. I don't like him as a person, and he doesn't like me. And that's it. That's bottom line.
We did ask Caleb Plant that there was allegedly a fight that was proposed for you both to fight in September of 2022. He said that you and your team declined the fight. And when we asked your father, he said did he say there was no fight, I believe? I can't remember. But was there a fight planned?
So he said that I declined the fight for September.
There was allegedly a fight, and he said if there was supposed to be a fight, we had the same manager, we had the same team, or even your father or Luis de Cuba is both of your managers, so you guys could have made the fight, but your father...
To me, it doesn't make no sense. Say he's coming back, he's trying to search for greatness, he's trying to be the best he is. If I'm fighting for the WBC interim title, why wouldn't he take that opportunity to fight for that belt himself? I'm sure the WBC would love to sanction that fight. Instead of me and David Lemieux, why not make it me versus Caleb Plant with the WBC interim title? I'm the one fighting for it. It just doesn't make sense. Why would I turn a fight like that down when I've been trying to get that fight for a long time? I could have fought Caleb Plant when Caleb Plant fought Caleb Truex. We had the same. We fought like a month apart. You know what I mean? And he looked horrible against Caleb Truex. We could have fought then, we could have fought now, and now he's going to fight Anthony Durrell, a dude that I stopped when I was 22 years old. So it makes no sense. Why would I decline to fight with Caleb Plant when that's potentially a bigger fight? That's potentially a pay-per-view fight. It's a big fight for me, in status, and a money fight for me. So it makes no sense. Why would I decline to fight like that?
So he lands on Durrell, and you land on Lemieux. Land on Lemieux. Excuse me. What is that paving the road towards that you can disclose to us? Obviously aren't going to look past any opponent, but it seems like a very intentional road. Are you guys joshing with us, and there is a fight in the future? What is this leading us towards? Do you think?
I mean, to be honest, I know as much as you. I don't know. I've been trying to get that fight. That's the fight that I want to get, me versus Caleb Plant. But, there's always something it's always something that keeps the fight from happening. When he was going to fight Canelo, he said that he's on to bigger and better things, whatever. He still got his ass knocked out after he fought Canelo. So what else is he chasing now? There shouldn't be a reason why this fight is not getting made. I would definitely, for me to get to the next level, I feel like I need Caleb Plant, because he's a big name and he fought with Canelo, so I feel like that's an easy fight to be made. And there's just no reason why this fight's not being made. If he beats Anthony Durrell and I beat David Lemieux, why not make the fight happen? So, I mean, if this fight doesn't get made happen after I get this victory with David Lemieux, then I don't know what to tell you guys.
Okay, going back to you guys share the same manager, Luis de Cuba, based on from what we know, have you both, you and Caleb said, I want to fight you if you guys are both the same manager?
I know his.
Yeah, I definitely talked to Luis de Cuba. So I talked to him, a couple of weeks ago. I told him that, if everything goes good, with me and David Lemieux and I get the victory for the WBC title, I feel like it gives me better leverage to get these other fights, all the fights that I want to get, and I mean, I just don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what would be the holdup. I mean, once I win this WBC interim title, it would be a good idea for Caleb Plant to fight me too, because it's for a title too. So, I mean, if we can make that fight happen, that's a fight I've been wanting to make happen for a long, long time. So, I don't know. He said there might be a possibility, and the only reason it doesn't get made is if Caleb Plant doesn't want to fight.
This whole division is spicy.
Yeah,
the super middleweight is getting down. It's becoming the glamour division. Mm-hmm. It's really commanding attention compared to welterweight. When we talked to your dad, we talked to him about negotiating with Canelo and how close that fight really came to fruition. And your dad was very clear. He said that we were willing to take the minimum. There's a minimum that people get when they fight Canelo. He said, well, you guys were even willing to take less than that, like $3 to $4 million to get the fight, because he felt the fight that more opportunities would come later, the money would come later. Is just your point of view on that and what your father told us when we had him on.
Well, like I said, now I feel like a lot of people, they don't want to fight me because there's too much risk and not that much reward. I mean, I'm not saying nobody's scared of me, but I mean, when everybody looks at fights, they're like, oh, they always say that I have nothing to offer, that this and that. It's like, if you see the fights with Charlo, he said I had nothing to offer. But, I feel like the fights, when they get made to happen with me, I have a big fan base. A lot of people like how I fight, and it will definitely be an interesting fight versus whoever I fight. If I could have got a fight with Charlo, I feel like he could have got he would have got a bigger payday than fighting, the guy he's fighting now. No disrespect to the guy, but I don't really know who he is. The Polish guy is fighting at 160. And also with Canelo Alvarez, I think Luis de Cuba told me that they're offering Canelo $55 million for me plus pay-per-view. So it's kind of crazy. A lot of people say that, I bring them no value when, there's a big paycheck for them to fight me, So, like I said, I know as much as you guys. I've been trying to get that fight. I mean, I've been mandatory to fight Canelo for like 2 fights already.
Why do you think he hasn't taken that fight with you?
I don't know.
We talked about it with your father because he said that you. Go ahead.
Every time I say something, a lot of people just try to they go and attack me, saying, "Oh yeah, like why would Canelo be scared of this guy or something?" It's always there's always something that comes back at me. I mean, so I don't know why they wouldn't take the fight. I mean, he's fighting for I think he took less money. I don't know how much. I think he got what was it, like 85 million? Well, that's what that was reported.
Crazy
for both fights.
Yeah.
But for me, he would have got 50 million alone, and then it would have been $100 million deal with, versus Charlo and then me. So, I mean, he's still getting a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here trying to say that Canelo's scared or nothing, but, if he would have fought me, he would have got a bigger paycheck, just like I would have got a big paycheck. So for all the fans saying I'm looking for a payday, this and that, it's not really all about that. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I'm the mandatory at this weight class. So, how do I not deserve this fight? I beat the people they put in front of me. I've been 2-time world champion. So it's not like I'm freaking asking for a handout. I did the work and I'm the mandatory. So this is what I deserve.
The conversations with your name in it are fascinating because, like you said, there's a perception that it's a high risk, low reward, but your name is always in the conversation.
Yep.
Charlo had said that he wanted to fight you, but then, then kind of took back some of those statements, or none of that came to fruition. There's the things going on with Caleb. Again, he's saying that you don't bring anything, or whatever he said allegedly about you. High risk, low reward, but still part of the conversation. How does that make you feel? Like what do you think about that you're still part of the conversation, yet they still don't want to fight you?
To be honest, it does make me a little frustrated, but at the end of the day, I could just keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like eventually I'm going to get these opportunities. I'm still very young, I'm 25 years old. So I still feel like I have at least 10 years in this game. So, but I don't know, I just keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like whatever fighter fights for me, I feel like the thing about these fighters too, that they're just so, what is it called? They're just too cocky. Everybody thinks that they're the A side, and everybody thinks they're a freaking superstar when they're not. When in reality, we all need each other to get to that next step. Charlo, he needs me. Caleb Plant, he needs me. Who else are they going to fight? Who else are the fans interested to see him fight? Caleb Plant, who else is going to fight after? He's going to fight Anthony Durrell. What is that going to do for his career? Charlo, he's a great fighter, but now he's fighting this Polish guy. What else is that going to do for his career? I feel like the fans would give him more respect, if they took a hard fight like with me, and if I take these fights, I'm not saying that they're easy fights. I would definitely have to work extremely hard, to do and to make sure I'm 100% ready to, to face these people, because they were ex-champions and I gotta be ready for that. But, I just want to get to the next level, and it's kind of hard to do that when a lot of these other people, all these top fighters in my weight class, they don't want to fight.
Well, what happens? Obviously, after the Lemieux fight, whether you are victorious or not, I've heard from KO artist, Stephen, I'm like, I never know how to say his last name. You said in an interview that you would even move up to 175 and even maybe better Benavidez.
I would definitely go to 175, but I feel like if he beats Joe Smith, I feel like Canelo would be the front runner right there, because I'm sure he would want to make an undisputed fight, and I'm sure Benavidez would want to fight Canelo. So that's the thing about that too, even at that weight class, Canelo gets all those top fights there, definitely because he's a more lucrative fight, he makes more money, and it's going to be if they do fight, it would be a unification title fight.
But even so let's just say that you are victorious against Lemieux. It is for the WBC eliminator. That puts you in the sweepstakes to hopefully fight Canelo. So let's just say that fight with Canelo doesn't pan out because he's so busy in the other divisions trying to become undisputed. Yeah. What happens next then?
Well, no, it's for the WBC interim title. I had already, when I fought Ronald Ellis, that was a WBC eliminator. I won that. And when I was going to fight Jose Uzcategui before he came out positive with steroids, it was going to be another WBC title eliminator. So, that's what I'm telling you. It's frustrating for me because I was already fighting 2 WBC title eliminators back to back, and now it's the WBC interim title. So I don't know what to, I don't know what comes next. It's not like, I would love to fight Canelo, but Canelo, he's doing his thing. I think he has 3 fights with Dazin, this whole year, and who knows what he might do next year. He might go up to cruiserweight, or I just don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. So with me, I just said, I just got to take it one fight at a time. I just got to keep winning, and I think the opportunities will eventually, open themselves soon.
You are young in your career at 25. When you look at all these opportunities and the difficulty to make fights, does it give you any fears about what your ultimate legacy will be? because we know fans are fickle and they love to do fantasy matchups, and so didn't fight this person and that person, they didn't fight in their prime, blah, 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 blah. Does that any of that concern you when you think about your ultimate legacy, when you eventually leave the sport, go into the Hall of Fame? Do you think that far in the future about this period of your career?
Yeah, it definitely, I definitely think about it a lot, and for me to have the career that I want to have, I definitely want to fight all these, great fighters in my weight class, or 175. But if that doesn't happen, like I said, like it's hard to get these fights happen. Then my ultimate goal is just to take care of my family, take care of my son, take care of my wife, take care of all my other family. And, at the end of the day, this is how I pay my bills. And, I'm a fighter, and this is how I make my living.
And you are looking to become a 3-time world champion, which I think is incredible because you're still so young.
Absolutely.
And you are still a force to be reckoned with. It's just we need fights to be made. We need the opponents to actually say, yeah, I'll fight you. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And now,
but like I said, that's why it's kind of frustrating too. Like, it's not my fault. You guys know damn well I've never turned down no fight. I'm not the one saying that. Oh yeah, this guy, he's not. He has nothing to offer me. I've never said that. A lot of these fighters, like I said, we all need each other to get to the next level. So you could really tell the fighters that they're not willing to make the fights happen. The ones that say, "Oh yeah, he has nothing to offer me." I'm A side, I'm this and that. So I'm doing my best to make these fights happen. So I mean, if they don't happen, it's not because of me. It's because of the other side.
And so now we land on David Lemieux, and David Lemieux has been in some battles in his career. We've seen him in some big fights. How did this even land on the radar? He used to be over with Golden Boy previously, and then now we find you into a fight with him. How did this fight even come to fruition? Because when I thought about opponents for you, that was not a name I thought of immediately.
I can't go in there just thinking, I'm just going to, she's just going to be an easy guy to go in there. I have to give all the fighters the respect they deserve, because at the end of the day, this is a title shot. Mm-hmm. It's the title shot for him, a title shot for me. So, I'm expecting them to be in there. I'm very motivated. This is a big opportunity for both of us. But as the way the fight came about, it was ordered by the WBC, for the WBC interim title. And like I said, he wasn't the first fighter that came to name for me either. There was 3 other fighters that came to name to me first. But, I mean, when the WBC orders fights like that, then that's basically the stamp, and that's what's going to happen next, and that's how the fight came about.
Who were the other fighters, the 3 other names?
The ones that I wanted to fight, like I said, were I wanted to fight Canelo. Canelo, Charlo, Caleb Plant, and I would also like to fight, Berlanga. I feel like he has, he's a big puncher, and I feel like it'd be an exciting fight for the fans.
That is an exciting fight, and with him being over on the top ranked side of the street, and having the team that you have, is that a makeable fight? Are you guys in conversation? Maybe it could be something down the line, because there's always so much talk about crossing the street and all these kind of things. What do you think is the likelihood of even having those conversations even opening up?
I mean, I don't know. We could definitely have the conversation, but I feel like, as just from being here in the position I am, after I get this WBC interim title, I think I have more leverage, and it would definitely be if I get the belt, it'll definitely be a title shot for Berlanga. And I don't know, like I said, I could try to make these fights happen, and I could try to speak them into existence, and telling my promoters and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, for making the fights happen, they have the decision to make that happen. So we could definitely try to make it happen. We could definitely try to talk to the other side and talk to my promoters to see what happens. And, I would definitely love to make that fight. But, at the end of the day, it's either Top Rank and PBC that definitely have the power to make that happen.
Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
I know that. I mean, based on Edgar Berlanga's last performance, a lot of people say he's a little overrated. He has been battle tested, and he did hurt. He broke his hand, not this past fight, but the last fight. Did you catch his last fight recently?
Yeah, he didn't look good at all. Yeah, but I mean, but like I said, I think 3 fights ago, he was like the biggest thing in the world. And, I feel like he has a lot of support from, a lot a lot of artists and a lot of celebrities and stuff like that. So even he called me out. He said that he would love to fight me. So I mean, you know, I would love to fight him too. You know, it's a big name. You know, he's definitely a big hitter.
Yeah.
You know, there's no
For sure.
about that. He has a lot of punching power, so I think it would be a fun fight.
That would be
That's
a
a
great
hot one.
fight. How tall? Wait, how tall is Edgar? How tall are you?
I'm like 6'2", and I think he's
Oh.
like 6.
And he's 6'1".
6'1".
Big
Ooh.
boys.
Bob Arum, did you hear that? Brad Goodman. Let's make some fights happen.
I'm into it. I like it.
I mean,
I'd go to that.
It makes sense on both sides. You know, I feel like this is a very lucrative fight. You know, I mean, it could be potentially a really big fight, and why not? You know, with Mexico versus Puerto Rico, let's make it happen.
Why not, indeed?
Ooh, I'm gonna Carl Moretti. Did you hear that? We're gonna. You know what? We can just
We got to talk
help
to
the
Carl
matchmakers
Moretti, for sure.
You know what's funny when you said that you have nothing to offer. A lot of fighters say, "Well, why fight David Benavidez? He has nothing to offer." Caleb Plant said in our interview, he's like, "I don't know why David wants to fight me. I have nothing to offer him." Remember, I don't know if you remember him saying that, but obviously we said, well, it's a grudge match. It's a fight that needs to happen, belts or no belts.
He said that he doesn't have nothing to offer me.
Yeah, like he doesn't have any hardware, like both of you. So
Why say that about himself?
He said that about himself of like, well, why would David want the fight? So it was really weird. But his whole goal is to clean out the super middleweight division so he can get his rematch with Canelo.
See, like that's the type of shit that he's like he does it. He's like known for doing stuff like that. He says stuff that really makes no sense. Like if I have nothing to offer him or he has nothing to offer me, I'm the number one spot right there. You know, if he comes and beats me, then they'll definitely say, oh yeah, you know, he definitely deserves to fight Canelo. So if anything, he should be trying to fight me more. You know, but I feel like, you know, he's scared. Deep down inside, he knows he's scared. You know, now once I get him in the ring, I'm going to beat the shit out of him, you know, and I really don't like Caleb Plant. And as for all that stuff, him saying that I said something about his daughter, if I said something about his daughter, you know, he should bring it up. Or he should put me on blast and, you know, put videos of I never said nothing about his daughter. You know, so like that, just like when people say stuff about me and, you know, try to lie saying that I'm saying stuff, nothing ever came out of my mouth like that, you know. And, you know, as for me, I'm a pretty respectful guy. You know, and I don't like to say stuff. You know, I only say stuff if people disrespect me, but I would never say no stuff like that. You know, so if Caleb Plant, you know, he wants to get it on, you know, we could either fight in the ring or we could fight in the parking lot. You know, I just don't like that fucking guy. You know, and it's definitely a grudge match. I would fight him for free. If he wants to spar, tell him to hit my line and we could get a sparring session going on too. You know, it's just that's just how much I don't like them, man. And that's how it's always going to be until I get my opportunity to fight that guy. You know, it's always going to be like that. I'm never going to like him, and he's never going to like me. Even after the fights, we can never be friends because there's just too much. I just don't like that dude as a person.
Okay, so let's just say that there's no belts on the line. It is prize fighting. So let's just say there's even money, or let's just say there's not even enough money on the line. It's a grudge match. You two just don't like each other. It's about pride. Would you still take a fight with him?
Yeah, it's not even about the money. I mean, they can come with me with less money and I'll fight him. I really don't care. I just don't like him. You know, I don't like him at all. And I would definitely title, no title, big money, no big money. I just want to get in the ring with him. Until we both set our differences in the ring, you know, it's always going to be like that. You
know what, Jake Paul, can you put this card on?
I'm trying to tell you.
Seriously.
Let's get this money popping, because I like any combination of that. Pretty much you versus anybody.
Anybody, because we want to see you fight. And I think, God, you deserve to be in the ring. And you're a very dangerous fighter. You know how to box. You know how to brawl. You know how to knock out. You're very, very technical. You're very sound. Yeah, and they know you. I mean, honestly, when we asked Caleb, is this animosity true? Why do you guys really hate each other? And based on what we're hearing from you, you guys really don't like each other.
We could cut this clip and use it as fight promo.
Right?
Honestly, it's really good.
Yeah, and that's just the thing that frustrates me too. Like a lot of these people, they say, you know, that I have nothing to offer them and they don't want to fight me, this and that. But like you guys were excited. You guys would be excited to see me fight whoever. You know, every time I talk to a reporter or something, they're like, yeah, man, I would be excited for you to fight anybody. So how do I not bring this? How can I not get these fights? And how do people say I bring nothing to the table? If everybody that I talk to about potentially making a fight with any big name, they'd be like, yeah, that would be a dope ass fight. You know, we're excited for this fight. That fight has to be made. So like I said, I'm not running from nobody. I've never been scared of nobody. But I can't say the other thing about these other men. You know, they act like they're the shit. They act like, you know, they're the toughest and they're the hottest shit around. But at the end of the day, they know what's up.
There's only one way to solve this. Where's my camera?
Yeah.
Al Heyman, if you would like to come visit the show and come talk to us, and you know, if we can help facilitate any of these fights in any way, Al Heyman, you have an open door invitation to the best
the round table talk is available. Okay, since she did say Al Heyman, you guys, that's both of your advisors. What does he say about all of this? He can make the fight happen, can't he? He's the boss.
I've been with how long have I been with him? For like 6 years. I've only talked to him like twice. You know, Al Heyman is not an easy guy to talk to, but he said, you know, just keep going. Every time I talk to him, he just tells me just keep doing what I'm doing, and the fights will be made happen soon. So I have to take his word on that. But like I said, if the fights get made when both parties agree, you know, I tried to get a fight with Charlo a long time ago, like a year and a half ago. And I don't know if you guys seen when we had all that stuff was going on with us, and he said that. I had heard that he was coming up to 168. You know, I never disrespected him. I said, you know, I would love to fight Charlo. That would be a great fight. You know, he's a great champion. And I guess he felt some type of way about that or something like that because of how much interviews I was doing. And then he said I was a little kid, that he would snap my fucking neck, this and that. So I'm like, dude, like, I'm not going to now you're going to snap my neck. You know, like, I'm not going to let nobody talk to me like that. So it got to where it was at. And then after the fight, well, yeah, that's when he did the interview after the fight, said he was going to snap my neck, that he'll knock me the fuck out. I'm a little kid, this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. The fight's going to be made happen for sure. And then he comes out saying that, like, I had to be over 25 and I had to be
the
vaccinated.
COVID testing and all that. I remember that.
Yeah, I had to be vaccinated. And then now he's saying that I'm a weight bully, that I should be fighting at cruiserweight, that he's actually a small middleweight, that he's going to stay at 160. So, like, the only reason I even say stuff is because, you know, in my head, I feel like these fights could potentially be made. So, you know, I got to talk the shit, you know, to make these fights happen. But then it just, like, it feels like a waste of time when I'm out here I'm talking all this shit. And, you know, these fights don't even get made. And I feel like the fans get frustrated. That's why I don't even like to say nothing no more, because I'm not going to go in there and waste my breath and, you know, talk all this shit. And, you know, these fights, they never get made happen, you know, because it's frustrating for me and it's also frustrating for my fans.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because that's a perfect segue to a segment that we have here. So we have a segment that's called Talk Yo Shit. So we are going to put the camera on you dead for 30 seconds, and whomever you need to say it to, fighters, fans, detractors, whoever you want to say it to, 30 seconds uninterrupted. David Benavidez, you know, go ahead and talk your shit.
The thing that was getting me mad, you know, is about a lot of these fighters, a lot of these, you know, critics, and, you know, they just talk all this shit. They don't know nothing about nothing. You know, like, as fighters, you know, the fighters that are potentially there to fight Canelo, you know, I think they need to stop saying payday, payday. You know, because at the end of the day, we've all been boxing. I've been boxing for 22 years. You know, I've put my whole life on the line right here, and I've worked my ass off. And I've earned my spot to fight this dude, you know. And I'm not just looking for a payday. I'm looking to make history. But once you do your job good, you work for free? All these people that work, they do this and that. You guys go to your work and not ask to get paid or what? Like, so all that payday shit, all that shit needs to stop. And all the fighters that they talk all that shit, but they don't want to. They do very little to make these fights happen. You know, you guys need to grow some fucking balls, honestly. You know, because I'm tired of you guys talking all that shit, and all these fights never get made happen. So whenever you guys want to grow a pair of balls, you guys know what's up with me.
Woo! David Benavidez, you hear that? All y'all's grow some balls, grow some cajones. Oh my God, David. Woo.
Well, I like it.
I like it.
Spicy.
I mean,
I like what you're talking about. I like the idea of a Berlanga fight. I like any of those combinations.
Charlo needs to come up.
Plant, hell, all of them. Well, all of them, all the smoke. David wants all the smoke.
David wants all the smoke,
and I'm here for it.
Okay, Dave, I'm going to kind of go, we're going to veer a little bit off because, as you know, our show is the best women's boxing show, period. So not only we just talk about men's boxing, but I got to ask you, do you watch any women's boxing?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You know, I'm very excited for that fight. I think, what is it, April 30th? You know, Amanda Serrano.
Yeah. I was going to ask you your thoughts on that. Who do you think has it? How will it end?
That's going to be a great fight, and I feel like Amanda Serrano, she really deserves a lot of respect, because besides Pacquiao, I think she's been the only other fighter to win, 7 different titles in 7 different weight classes. But, Katie Taylor, she's a great champion too. So, I mean, I'm excited just to see that. I don't know who wins that fight, but I'm definitely going to be tuning in myself. It's going to be a great fight. And also the other fight I'm excited about is, I don't know. I had just seen that she won this weekend. I don't know. I forgot her name. That's potentially going to fight Clarissa Shields.
Oh, Savannah Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that fight, just them too. They look like they really hate each other too, and they a lot of trash talk going between them. So, I love I love a grudge match too. And then, Michaela Mayer, she's a really good fighter too. I've been watching her for a long time. So, I mean, the women's boxing, it's on fire too. I feel like this is probably one of the best, past couple 5 years that, the women's boxing has been on fire.
Well, Jeandra made a very bold prediction.
I say it all the time. In the next 5 years, women's boxing is going to take over. Women are going to start really leading these cards and these big pay-per-view cards too. It's coming.
Yeah.
I think your father needs to take on a female fighter. Because I know Diego Pacheco, Rayo's in there. You guys got a good little stable going on. Diego Pacheco, I said it. I interviewed him when he went pro. He's going to be a future world champion very, very soon. And who knows, you might end up having to fight him because you guys are in the same division.
Yeah, I mean, I've told them that too. I've told everybody here that. I said, but we'll cross that bridge when it gets here,
You didn't say it nice like that. Tell us the truth. What did you tell him did you tell him I'll lump you up, little boy? What'd you tell him in the gym for real? You could tell us, we family.
When I don't even talk like that, but when we do our sparring sessions, that's where we let it all out. He's a great fighter. I'm a great fighter, and I feel like he can learn from me, and I know, I get better sparring him because he's a great fighter too. We both push each other to limits. But, when I first contacted him to spar him, it was like about 2.5 years ago. And, I called him for reasons because I seen a lot of potential in him. And not only just, to train him, I seen a lot of potential, for me to get better sparring him. And, it's been like that. It's been a good friendship, for the past 2.5 years. He's a great person. I've learned I've met all his family, and, I've learned to like all his family, and, he knows all my family, and, he's a great dude. He's young, he's a great dude. And, well, like I said, if we do ever cross that bridge, may the best man win. I'm here to be the best. He's here to be the best. So whatever happens, happens.
Holler.
Would your dad be in your corner or his corner?
Yeah, I think he's ring.
I'm like, I always say your name, El Bandera Roja. Why red flag? What's that mean?
To be honest with you, that's just a name that my promoter gave me. He said, he really had a vision. Samson Lupowicz. He said that, red flag, it kind of means like, it's a danger. You pull out the red flag and, it's danger. A lot of people say I'm dangerous and stuff like that. And a lot of people shy away from the fights for me because I'm dangerous. Kind of like exactly what's been happening now, and then also we had a vision too, like, maybe when I fight at home, it'll be like a bull pit. We have a lot of people like at the fights waving red flags and stuff. And, we always give flags out of my fights. And, you always got the people waving little red flags. So, I mean, that's pretty cool too. But besides that, I just want to get it out here. A lot of people say that it's like gang related.
The Crips, the Bloods.
I don't even play with that stuff.
I know that's right.
Not gang related. So.
Yeah.
Never that.
And then one other prediction, since we know that you've had Bivol, you've sparred Bivol, and he's going to be fighting Canelo. Can Bivol pose any problems to Canelo and vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, Bivol, he's a strong fighter. He has good footwork. He has a good right hand. He's a really strong right hand. But the thing about Bivol is, he's very vulnerable to the inside game. Body shots and uppercuts and sustained pressure, and that's where Canelo that's really where Canelo shines at. So if he could like really box him and keep using his footwork all day, he'll really have a big chance of winning. But the thing about it too is that Canelo can't sleep on Bivol, because Bivol has a really good right hand. And he has really good power. You know, he has sneaky power too. And the thing about Bivol is he's fought a lot of good opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had that experience. You know, he's fought Pascal, he's fought Joe Smith, a lot of other good fights. You know, Sullivan Barrera. Sullivan Barrera was coming up. He's fought a lot of strong fighters. So I feel like he's felt the power before, but he just really has to be really on top of his toes. But it's gonna be a great fight. And I was actually trying to spar Bivol. We had contacted their management to spar him for this fight, but
he's busy.
We didn't.
Well, I think a lot of people are comparing maybe because he fought Canelo, and Kovalev and Bivol are two different men because Kovalev is a little older. Bivol is really in his prime, and Canelo is definitely in his prime. So this is a great fight. Yeah. Do you think it will end in a knockout?
I think there's a big possibility. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big possibility, but it's going to be a great fight. I don't want to disrespect Dimitri Bivol because I know him and his team is really good. But whoever it's going to be a great fight. Whoever wins the fight is it's going to be a great fight.
The fans win in this one.
Yeah,
the fans win. The fans are always the ones who win.
For sure.
You see that, promoters? The fans win. Give us what we want. Give us the fights,
and then we all win.
There you go. Oh, David, thank you so much for taking your time out. I know that you've got you're in fight camp right now in San Diego at the Fight Stars compound, and good luck to you against David Lemieux.
Yeah, thank you guys, and I really appreciate you guys for inviting me on here. And till next time, but thank you, and thank you to all the fans that are following. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Bye.
Bye.
I love that. Half of that show could have been Talk Your Shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He was on. It was on and cracking. He's got a reason to say what he got to say. He wants fights, and
and it is really true that when we did speak to Caleb, it doesn't seem like Caleb's the type to talk shit, and neither is David. So someone's talking shit about someone, and they're saying it's both of them. But who knows? They're both saying their own piece, but they all just want to fight.
That face-off would be spicy.
Oh my god!
That face-off would be spicy.
Better. It would be even hotter. It would be like more violent than the Canelo Caleb plant. The fight might even get canceled.
I wish I could remember what Caleb was saying. It was something.
Chingosos. I forgot. I should have asked him.
I like. Well, anyway, but yeah. So here's to hoping that we get some great fights, and here's to hoping. We're going to put them all together for all of you to watch at home. We're going to put it back, and we're going to lump them all together in a playlist, so you can watch you can watch the Caleb Plant interview, you can watch the Jose Senior interview, and then you can watch this interview, and then go on Twitter, tag us on Twitter, Best Women's Boxing Show, and our Best Women's BSP on Twitter. We had to make it short. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think is the best combinations of fights? Do you want to see David versus Canelo? It's a great fight. We know that's everybody wants to punch the golden ticket, but what other combinations do you like? Let us know. And
we all know David is not running from this fight. Like you said, he doesn't care about the money. It doesn't even have to be belts. He'll fight him in the backyard.
Money don't matter.
That was fun. I liked it.
For sure.
Oh, Jeandra, that was a fun one.
I had a good time.
I kind of held my breath because he was going off.
I said, let me just push my chair back. Let me take it on back.
Let him talk. I was like, I'm not going to even ask any more questions. Just keep on going. Okay. But that's what we liked. We like the boxers tell us all. And I like the fact that he does watch women's boxing. Yeah. And he gave us a really good breakdown of Taylor. Well, he didn't really say anything about Taylor Storm, but he does like them, and even Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields.
And he likes a good grudge fighting.
Yeah, Michaela.
Well, by the time you see this, she will have already fought. Yeah. So, but good for him. Good on him. Support boxing as a whole.
Yeah, support our show
as a whole.
Like, share, subscribe on our new YouTube channel.
Everything.
The Best Women's Boxing Show, period. And I hope you guys like our new animated logo.
It's cute.
Shout out to Banana Dog Media, Dimitri, who made it for us.
It's cute.
It's really cute.
It. I'm into it.
It's still going. We're still developing, and you're going to see new fancy things on all our socials. But,
shiny toys.
Ooh, sparkly stuff.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap up this episode. And Jeandra, that was another one. A good one for us in the can.
Another one.
What's that irritating DJ sound that they make? Oh, God. That one. I should not even ask. We need a button for that.
Yeah, we need a like button. So, yeah, that's our show for today.
All right. I am Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.